What the? Welcome back to the ELF live show. Can someone mute themselves because I am echoing?
Marco, you got to
I
mute
think that's
yourself.
you. Are we good? We're good.
There we go.
Guys, what's up? This is the double intro. We were live for a second there, and just a few people who joined us in the chat early on. Y'all.
Marco? Silas is gone. Can you hear me? Guys, can you hear me in the chat? Am I still here? Silas is gone. Okay, so I am here by myself, it seems. All right, guys, welcome back to ELF Live. Look at Silas is coming back in. Quickly run down what we got for you today. We got a great show after being off last week due to reasons. We have got some signings, okay, of course, the traditional signing center. And then Silas and I are going to do which teams we think are the most overrated in the ELF for 2024. Very, a lot of controversy packed into that. Going to be a lot of fighting, some tears, but we're going to get through it. And then we've got some great interviews today. And then Silas and I are going to talk about our top 5 sleeper picks for players in the ELF who don't get that much attention, but are great. So that's what we got for you today. Silas, welcome back, bro.
Thanks, bro. I don't know. I put this in the chat, but I feel like I'm on one today. Like I'm about to just roast everybody.
Good. Hey,
I'm about to just roast everybody today. I don't know. I'm in some sort of mood. I'm hyped about European football. I'm hyped about we're coming up on season 4, season 5. We're in season 4 or 5.
Season 4.
Season 4. Coming up on week 1. I'm pretty hyped, and dude, I just don't care anymore. I don't care. Ever since my team, the Helvetic Guards, went to sleep. Now I'm out for blood on everybody. That's how I'm doing, Nick.
Speaking of which, the master of segues right there. Way to go with the lob up, Silas. The Helvetic Guards are now, we have a new Swiss franchise. The Helvetic Mercenaries were announced last week. As you guys know, a little bit of a shakeup in Switzerland last week. Silas's old team under new ownership, new branding. They're now going to be the Helvetic Mercenaries. And so we're going to find out some more stuff about them. But a lot of the people who were signed and a part of the formerly Guards will be part of the Mercenaries. Silas, what are your feelings about this situation?
First off, I'm thankful that the team's still going to be playing. So from my understanding, like most of the players are still going to be playing on the same team. It's not really changing. Really, it's just the name and the ownership. Second thought is this happens. This happens in every business leagues that ever starts. You have franchises that fold and then start over, and we're in that process. Switzerland's a great country with great fans. So I'm really glad to see that they're going to keep a team in Switzerland. My next thought is that it's really ironic that my OG team, the Marburg Mercenaries, that I started in Europe, now my last team have the same name. I feel like
they morphed.
Yeah, maybe just join forces.
There's something there. These Silas and Nacita teams. So yeah, man, that's what we got. It's great that we still got football in Switzerland. Still, a lot of those guys will be playing for the Mercenaries, and they'll be playing in the Central Conference still. So that's obviously big news that came out last week. But just like you said, man, it's a natural part of an early league. We're only entering into year 4. We're at the very beginning of this project, of this football league. And so that's going to happen. When teams pop up, come go. Just like I said last week, man, 10 of the 12 original NFL teams do not exist. So that's just part of starting a new league. And that's what we got there. Now,
hold on. Thoughts on hold on. I want to hear your thoughts on the name Helvetic Mercenaries. What do you think?
It's interesting. Obviously, there's a little bit of a historic context there because Swiss people were paid as mercenaries. They're very good fighters, very good soldiers, and so different countries around Europe would pay the Swiss, and so they were mercenaries. So there's some historical context there. So that's interesting. Logo for me, do I love it? Not really. I don't know. I mean, maybe it'll grow on.
It looks kind of like a transformer.
Well,
it kind of does look like a transformer. Someone in the chat said Helvetic Transformers. It does look like a transformer. Here's another thought for those who are wondering what Helvetic means.
Good.
It's essentially a name that represents all of the people back in the day who lived in the Swiss, now what is now Switzerland. So the reason it's not like like a city, say like Zurich Mercenaries or whatever, they wanted to specifically choose a name that would represent the whole country, which I kind of vibe with Swiss. Like I feel like Swiss Mercenaries or Swiss something would have been cool. So I wasn't a huge fan of Helvetic because it's just too hard to say and no one knows what it means. Like everybody knows the word Swiss. And then Mercenaries, man, it's average.
Well, hey, I mean, that's a good little fun fact right there, the Helvetic thing, because I was always wondering that, but now we know. And that's the name of the airline in Switzerland. But hey, at least it's unique. We'll say that. So that's what we got. Helvetic Mercenaries, Silas's old team, have now taken the name of his first team, the Mercenaries, and applied it to themselves. So we have also got the reveal last week at the FIBO, did the home jersey reveal for 2024. A lot of teams just had like little touch-ups, nothing too crazy, too big, a little bit maybe more saturated, newer versions of the colors for some. Chat, any versions of the jerseys that stand out to you, let us know which ones you think look good. Silas, any favorites for you with the uniforms?
Well, here first off, can you tell me about that FIBO event, man? So for those who don't know what the FIBO event is, I don't know either because I wasn't there, but Nick was there and I saw some videos of it. It looked epic. I wish I was there. One of the perks Nick gets to have being a European citizen, he gets to be there all the time. I don't get to be there all the time. So maybe ELF can get me an honorary citizenship and I could be there all the time. But tell me about that event, bro.
Become a Helvetic citizen. It was very, very cool. So FIBO is like the world's largest trade show for health, fitness, and wellness in the world. It's in Cologne, Germany. People from all over the world are coming there and they're showing off, their fitness products and their companies and all sorts of things. ELF had a showcase there. This was the first ever FIBO football festival. Quite a big deal that the ELF had this presence at the FIBO. So it was very, very cool. We're in a hall. We had the kickoff press conference there. Talked to some people, Patrick, Jelko, Ike, a lot of head coaches and some top name players were there over the weekend. And so just this big kind of celebration and kickoff event. Also revealed the jerseys here. Here we see the Madrid. Kind of like those Madrid jerseys. But yeah, man, so it was just this 3-day event and really cool to be able to be a part of it. And so many people. It was absolutely packed, man. It's crazy.
So there's a lot of different companies that are like advertising there. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, but it's like a trade show. So everyone has booths and stands, and you walk around and you can also do challenges and fitness stuff and all sorts of things. Like, for example, at the ELF one that we had, there was like a football field so people could throw the football, kick it, do like tackling challenges and stuff. And it was kind of just introducing a lot of people to football and the ELF.
That's super hype, man. That's super hype. Hey, Marco, can you take us back to the first jersey? Here's what I want to do, Nick.
Okay.
Let's go drip or trip.
Ooh, wow, that's good.
Like
okay.
Drip is nice. Trip is like you're tripping on that.
Trip or trip.
I stole that from a video that Jarvis McClan did. Shout out Jarvis McClan. Let's just go through them one at a time. Not too much explanation. Let's just drip or trip. Let's start with Ryan Fire. Go ahead.
That red for me is a little bit trip. I don't know. It just feels a little bit too saturated. Trip. Silas?
Trip.
Good.
Trip.
Double trip.
Tripping. I'm going to say tripping.
I got to say drip. Contractually obligated.
Okay, I was going to say drip, but whoever is rocking that thing is making it a trip, bro. You got to put somebody in there who doesn't got too much.
Bro, that's me.
What? That is not you, bro. Come on, dog. Like, if you're going to put someone in the jersey, you got to, it's got to go. God, man.
You did say
that don't look like yeah, there you go. That's a better look. See, just based off of whoever that is, I think is that Jordan? Is that Jordan?
That's Jordan. Yeah, Jordan was there. That's Jordan.
Yeah, because I know I saw a video of him. But that's what it's supposed to look like. And you know what? It's 2024. All right, you gotta love all bodies, especially in football. Like big men. All right, I'm getting sidetracked here. What do you think on this one?
For me, that's a drip. You? Did we lose you? Oh, you're thinking.
No, I was just thinking.
Marcus says looks good, but too much NFL Vikings still. I mean, I could see that, but I think it's pretty drippy.
Marcus, bro. Marcus is my nemesis on the chat. He shows up here and I just talk crap. So screw you, Marcus. That is not good. He said you say it looks good. I'm gonna say trip.
There we go. Okay, drip and trip. What we got next
Keep
one?
Going.
Yeah.
Golly.
A little bit deeper purple.
What is up with these models, bro? What is up with these models? Can we get
For me, that's trip. I like Vienna's purple better.
It's the first time I ever seen a leggings full on. It looks like it's one pant. I'm gonna say trip because it looks like it's like pants. Like he's wearing like actual pants.
I see, trip. Man. Double trip. What we got there?
Double trip. Keep going. And trip on the model too. I actually like. I'm gonna go with this one. Drip.
That's drip. Next one. Faherva got drip.
I like that.
That's drip for me, man. I like green.
Yeah, I was gonna say I do like it. It's like the green is saturated, but it can work. Like the Rhine Fire saturation doesn't work. Some colors you can be like that. Some colors you can't. I'm going drip for Barcelona.
Gabriel's Brown's coverage said, "Can I get a shout out?" And this, yes, you can, man. And welcome to the chat. And Marcus agrees there. Okay, next one, Marco.
Drip.
Oh, drip. No words needed.
Drip. Drip. The it's like the matte. It's like gunmetal gray. Drip. Paris is nice. I wish they was nice. I think they could have done a better job with the red. They could have done something else, but I like it. Drip.
Maybe a little bit deeper red, but overall Paris branding right. Milano.
Ooh, that's the one that's different. Okay.
What do you think?
I'm gonna say drip, even though I think it's a little basic. I'm trying to remember what they had last year, but I think it's better than last year. I can't remember.
I think it's slightly better, but I have to go trip. It's not special enough.
Too basic. Too basic. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Too basic.
Initially, I thought it was good. I don't know. I'm losing it. Go to the next one.
But we already had that. We
talked about Barcelona.
Is that all we have? Is that all we have, Marco?
Madrid. Okay. We got to talk about Madrid.
Oh yeah. For me, I like it. That's drip. They kind of got a little bit of a Cleveland Browns thing going. I think this uniform combo is a little bit polarizing for me. It's drip. Silas.
Nah, I'm gonna go trip. They're tripping on that. They should have gone like if they got black pants. Black pants would have made that a lot better.
Okay.
Black pants would have made that better.
Madrid Brown, says Marcus. There you go. All right, next one, Marco.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe in real person, real life. Ooh, I like it. Drip.
Yep. Drip. Unique, flashy. Drip.
That's drip. See, that's one of those colors that you could pull off being like kind of out there.
It looks nice. All right, Marco, next one.
And it's a black dude. Black dudes always look better on models. Like they make the jerseys look better.
Fahervar. Well, we had them already. Marco, next one. Prague rebrand. That's drip for me. Looks good.
Big time drip. I'm gonna say that. I think I like it's a drip, but I think what made me originally react so well was because the color and the jerseys last year were whack, bro. They were probably the worst in the league.
And I will agree with you right there and say that they had a very nice rebrand. Very nice rebrand.
Yeah.
Good for Prague. Good for Prague.
Good job. Good job, Prague out there doing their thing.
Somebody said MTB. I can't read the name. Said Prague's uniforms look like Alabama a little bit. Kind of. That's cool. All right, next one, Marco.
Yes.
I love these ones, right? Man. T-roll, drip. Love it. What do you think?
Like they couldn't have done something different. I was hoping to see something different. Isn't it the same they've always had?
Maybe the font or something is they're traditional. They're kind of like, it seemed like the Green Bay Packers. It's just always the traditional uniforms. So Marcus says needs silver pants instead of gray. Could be cool. Silver helmet low with the black looks good. They're like the Oakland Raiders. Drip says.
Yeah, I mean, I would say drip. They got the best. They probably got just like the sharpest colors. So yeah,
sharp.
Drip.
It's sharp. Too many teams in red and blue. Sure. Okay. Berlin. Drip. The gold helmet is what does it for me.
Bro, no. Imagine if they had a chrome gold helmet like we did at Baylor back when I was playing.
That'd be very,
very
cool.
That?
Yeah, those were cool.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, those were awesome. I love Baylor uniforms. Yeah. Those were awesome.
Bro, well, after they rebranded, they got whacked, but
Milano was like,
I'm gonna say drip, big time drip.
Drip.
But
all right, good.
Get chrome helmet. Get chrome helmets.
Next one,
that's everybody, right? Oh no, Hamburg.
Got a couple more, and then we're going to our signing center.
I'm gonna say trip.
I'm trip on that too, man. Don't love it.
I just feel like it's basic. They could have done that. You have cool colors. They could have done something better. Trip.
Okay.
Tripping.
Next one, Marco.
I thought that's everybody.
Munich.
Oh,
that's drip.
I think they checkered on the side too much. Also, why is he wearing hiking boots?
Because he's Bavarian. For? It's a Bavarian team. They hike. Very traditional, and that's also what the checkered on the pants is.
Okay, all right, but I'm gonna go drip. That's nice. I respect it.
Marcus and Ricardo said mega trip. all right. Actually, Marco should be it. All right, that's it. Hey, trip or drip.
That's
I like
good,
that.
bro.
That's good stuff.
That was good.
So
we burned a lot of time on that, but
we gotta catch up. We're gonna catch back up, but that was pretty cool to see all the uniforms and get a little trip or drip. I like that segment. So now we got to enter quickly into our signing center to go through some of our main signings of the week. And we're gonna have a little bit of graphics here, I believe, Marco, from our producer.
Jumping right into
signing that we have this week. Aslan Zetterberg. He is going to Paris. Defensive lineman. Played for the Leipzig Kings previous years, and then last year played for the Stuttgart Surge. So I got to see him a lot in person. He was an all-star in 2021. There he is right there. There we go, Marco. Great ball player. Really, really just high motor guy, man. He just gets in the backfield somehow. He just plugs it up there. Really good, and he'll be an import for Paris, who's putting together
and more recently, Aslan was the mannequin for the Stuttgart Surge at the FIBO Festival.
you are.
Hey, pull that back up, Marco.
You are. Pull it back up. You're right there.
Pull that Stuttgart Surge mannequin back up. Tell me that.
Marco worked too hard to get this up here. I don't think he can move it back. Oh, there we go. He did it. Good job, Marco.
That's him. Now go back. Go back. That's him, bro. That's him. Now go back.
So
Aslan Zetterberg,
him, bro. Baller. Marcus is wow, Silas. He signed to Paris. Yeah. They're putting together a roster, man. They're putting together a roster.
Yeah.
So
baller.
We got next.
Good football player though. Moving on. Offensive side. Wide receiver for the Raiders, Darian Chafin. This guy played at University of Incarnate Word.
There we go.
From 2020 to 2022. That's what the UIW is. Yep. Played in the UFL in 2024. He was an All-American in 2022. NCAA TD leader in 2022 for Incarnate Word. This is Incarnate Word, I think, is D3.
Yeah, I think so. If I'm not mistaken.
D3. So this guy's a baller. He will be joining the Raiders, and we'll see what he can do out there.
He's essentially replacing Jarvis McClam. Kind of big shoes to fill in Innsbruck. What do you think?
He does have some big shoes to fill, and we'll see if he likes small town Austria. That's where Innsbruck is. Beautiful place, small town. But moving on to my former team. Well, actually, it's not even my former team anymore, technically. But head coach. We have a new head coach with the Helvetic Mercenaries. I saw this coming. TBH.
Really?
Saw it coming. Yes. No, not Val Gunn. I saw a new head coach coming in.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think?
But Val Gunn
was in Istanbul.
Yeah, he was in Istanbul in 2021, 2022. Man, this guy goes way back in Europe. Coached in Norway in 1998, won the Norway championship, Polish champion in 2019. So he knows his way around. We'll see what he can do. It's always tough walking in and trying to, especially last minute. I mean, he's walking in last minute, and we'll see how the guys warm up to him. I think we have a a really awesome, one of my favorite people in the ELF coming in later on the show, Dom Liechti, and I would love to hear his thoughts on him. But that's news for Helvetic. Who you got next?
We got next for Munich, defensive lineman Hisvel Ayua, and I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. They had a cool video announcement for him. I think it was quite cool. But another guy coming down from Hamburg and going to be playing for Munich. They're bolstering up, man, for trying to win the Central Conference this year. They're coming for it. They're big rivalry with the Stuttgart Surge, so he's going to be down there plugging up on the D line. And then another for Munich, big re-signing, one of the best European running backs, I would say. Tommy Oyewo is back in Munich, the absolute baller. And we're also going to have a little bit more on him later because he's going to be joining us on the show for an interview. So we'll save some more chit chat about him for when he shows up here. And then Silas, we've got one final on the signing center. Who we got here?
Dominik Eberle. Dominik Eberle. This guy kind of created a lot of news because he had a picture right there. That picture right there. You got an NFL kicker coming in, signing with the Berlin Thunder. So he played at Utah State, played in the XFL for a little bit with the Las Vegas Raiders. Then he went to the NFL, played with the Houston Texans, Carolina Panthers, Green Bay Packers, Detroit Lions. Finished up last year with the XFL with the Seattle Sea Dragons. Now he's signing with the Berlin Thunder. Kickers are really important, especially in Europe. Yeah. So that's it for our signing center.
Legit. He's gonna be legit. Oh, frozen.
That's it.
Am I frozen, Silas?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay, there we go. I'm back. Okay, so that's our signing center for this week, and we'll continue to have that every week. Now we are going to go into a little segment in chat. You guys are going to participate as well because Silas and I have prepared who we think are a little bit overrated for 2024. 2 weeks ago we did underrated. Now we're doing overrated. We're here. We're going to hurt some feelings probably. And chat, you let us know who you think and let us know your thoughts on our opinions here. Silas, do you want to kick us off and give us your presentation on the most overrated team?
I can't. There was two teams that I sent in, and I actually don't know which one we actually finalized. So, Marco, why don't you put up the graphic, and I'll just tell you.
Ricardo says Paris. Interesting.
Did I already tell you what it was? Well, I got,
there you go.
There we go. Okay, there we go. So, we got somebody in here, don't we? Was that Zach Blair? That don't look like Zach Blair.
That's not Zach Blair.
Oh, he's out. Okay,
there we go. There you go. You're all right, Marco. We have a new producer this week because Maxie is traveling. So bear with us on some of our technical difficulties, guys. So it might be a little slow on pictures and stuff. But here we are.
He's crushing it. He's crushing it. You don't have to put him on blast like that because he's crushing it. All right, Marco, you're doing a great job. Don't listen to my friend Nick.
Here we go.
Roll Cloud Panthers, bro. Overrated. I'm saying overrated. All right. So I know they got a lot of stuff brewing up over there, but everybody's been talking about them like they, I don't know. Yeah, I just haven't seen anything. I haven't seen anything yet. So as I was thinking about teams, I felt like there's a lot of talk and they haven't really proven anything. And so you got a new head coach coming in who I'm not saying is a bad coach, but anytime you have a brand new coach coming in, it's a hard thing to do to get everything started, everything going. Like I've been in Europe, getting a team together in a different country that you've never worked with them before. It's a tough thing to do. And they got a brand new coach who has got to do that. And I just feel like there's been a lot of hype. Like they're going to come out of nowhere and be like a championship contender. And I just don't see it. I think they're overrated.
Chat, what do you guys think about Silas's pick? People in the chat are saying, or I think maybe it's just Ricardo is saying a few times here that Paris is overrated. ELFpedia, who does great stat work, by the way, for ELF football, says Madrid, who I said last week was actually underrated. But
actually, that was my other one. I'm gonna offend everybody. That was my other one. I was gonna do Madrid as well. I think Madrid's overrated. I think they're overrated.
Man, after last week, I said they were underrated. I kind of regret that, because after talking with a lot of people this past week at the FIBO thing, talking to a lot of ELF people, I think they're going to be solid, but I agree that they're a little bit getting too much hype, I would say. And part of that is our fault, Silas, because like we're one of the shows about the ELF, and me personally, I kind of talk about Madrid a lot, so that's sort of my fault. But I'm with you there, man. ELFpedia says they have 5A imports, some solid homegrowns, and good E ports, better than Berlin this year, I'd say. What do you
Nifty
think?
Dude said Panthers are underrated, top 5 team at least, and will win the East. Well, maybe they win the East, but the East is the weakest conference.
Think they're going to win the East over Vienna, huh?
And I don't see them beating Vienna. I don't.
Bold statement. Okay, so that's what we got. That Silas is overrated. I got a little bit of a longer spiel for my team. So just be prepared here. Be prepared. Berlin Thunder, another team in the East, I think is a little bit overrated. Now, like we talked about, man, it's so hard to pick a team that's overrated. I think especially in like the top half of the league, you got a lot of great teams. This is really like no shade to Berlin, because I think that they have a chance to be good this year. I just think they're getting a little bit too much hype compared to what I expect them to be. And let me tell you why. All right, Berlin, they're in the capital city. They're in Berlin. They've got access to all these football players who live around Berlin. They've got a great name, a great brand. They've got that NFL Europe history. But can they finish? They've been a little bit mediocre, I would say. They've been in quarterback limbo in the past, and they went and solved that this year with Jacob Suleiman, who we had on the show. He's kind of a fan favorite of a lot of people. Silas, when we did our quarterback rankings a couple weeks ago, neither one of us had Jacob on there. And if you look at the comments on that, most of the comments were people upset and shocked that we didn't have Jacob as one of the top 5 quarterbacks. So I feel like Berlin is expecting Jacob to come in here and solve all of their problems and just be a perfect plug and play and get them to be a championship contender. They barely made the playoffs last year. They were solid, 8-4, got kind of killed in the first round of the playoffs. But it sounded like the buzz is Berlin is now going to be a championship contender next year. And I just don't think that's the case. They had one of the weaker running games in the league last year. Now, they did bolster that a little bit with the big offensive lining signing, Lucas Lavin, and then they got the great running back, Ali Khalifa from Milan. So that's going to bump them up a little bit in the run game. But is that going to be enough to get them to be like a championship level contender? You look at the top 4 teams who were the 4 final teams last year: Frankfurt, Rhein, Stuttgart, and Vienna. All of them had good run games. Like, this is a passing league, but you got to have a good run game to complement it. And they've got to be able to help out Jacob there. Obviously, he's battled his injuries in the past. So is he going to be able to bring them from an average, slightly above average team to a semifinal championship game contender? I just don't know. Also, with Dominik Eberle, who just signed, obviously is a phenomenal kicker. But since we are talking about overrated, that is bringing them a lot of extra hype right now. And that's what kind of played into me choosing them. Defensively, obviously, they've got Kyle Kitchens, who is one of the best players, not just one of the best defensive players, but one of the best players in the league. Obviously, he's a superstar. But is that enough? I just don't know, man. And so I have got Berlin being a little bit overrated. I do not think that they're going to make the playoffs this year. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you sound like you really did your research, Nick.
Alex Malchow says Eberle will kick them into the playoffs. Yeah, he is a great kicker, man. I mean, he's going to be hitting some like 58, 62 yarders in the ELF. It's going to be pretty sweet. Who said MBR son?
I feel like,
yeah, go ahead.
I don't feel like they're like getting that much hype. Like I feel like that when I was thinking about the question, I was like, who are people actually talking about? And I don't feel like Berlin. Like, I don't think anyone's giving Berlin like a lot of credit. That's why.
That's a fair point, because for me, I'm a little bit on the fence of it. The reason is, from some of these splashy signings, I feel like they're getting a little bit like, okay, so like, this is a good signing, but like, it's not gonna make you a championship contender. That's where I came in. But I agree, man. They're not getting like the hype that some other teams are. But I just think there is a slight discrepancy, is that the right word, in the hype they're getting and where they're going to be. I don't know, man. Could be wrong. Jacob could
that's valid.
Prove it wrong. Make me look stupid. Let's see in the chat. Andre Eigenmann says, for me, it's the Stuttgart Surge. They're one of the best teams, but I don't think they will go to the championship game. What do you think about that, Silas?
Who? Sorry, I got a text from or a message from Markel Castle. He's interrupting the show.
What is Markel saying?
Markel's trying to get. He said, "Yo, bro, I know you plugged in. I'm trying to get some 2-for-1 pads for the season." He's trying to get into that 2-in-1 game.
They were also at the FIBO. Tell Markel, get in the chat and start talking to us.
Hey, listen, Markel. How you gonna message me when we're live? Why don't you get in the chat like everybody else? Just because you're offensive player of the year, you think that you're special. You're not. Okay, you're not. You're disloyal. You left. You left Munich. You ain't loyal, bro. Markel ain't loyal. I'll tell you right now.
Kick rocks, Andre. Hey, bring him in the chat, man. Get him on in. Alex Malchow, anyway, who was a guest host a couple weeks ago, he says that Berlin Thunder is actually underrated. So he's directly contradicting my my take. And he knows a lot about football. So maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, actually, yeah. You know, the last time we talked with Alex and Jamal from Athletes Forum, we found out that they actually know a lot more about football than us. So
they know a lot about ball.
That means that the worst thing that can happen is Alex Malcho completely disagreeing with you. You're kind of screwed, Nick.
Couldn't have been.
No one's going to listen to you
a worse comment in the chat for my credibility if Malchow disagrees. Alex, give me something. Tell me something nice about my take. I said something that's accurate. Give me one of those. All right, but that's what we got, guys. That's our overrated teams, and we'll see it look stupid. We probably will, as it tends to happen. Now we have got our first guest. Silas, you want to introduce him? Your former teammate.
This is my boy Dom Liechti. Welcome to the show, Dom. For those who don't know, I played with actually Nick and I both played with Dom. I played with Dom in Switzerland last year with the Helvetic Guards, and Nick played with him in Germany with the Schwäbisch Hall Unicorns. I think I could speak for both Nick and myself that not only is this guy an absolute beast on the defensive line, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, and he's an engineer. I learned that last year. He does something with water in Switzerland or something like that. Dom, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us who you are, a little bit about who you are, and yeah, especially about that water thing that you do in Switzerland.
Yeah. Hey, first of all, thanks that I can be here. I'm really happy to see you guys back, and that you introduced me.
Good to see you, brother.
Yeah, and I studied civil engineering in Switzerland. And I'm watching for the water supply in the region of Bern, drinking water, building water reservoirs, all that stuff. Yeah, water pumps. Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah,
Smart man.
So if you guys didn't know, if you've never been to Bern, they have these drinking fountains all over the city, and the water's so good. So you can thank Dom for the clean water in Switzerland. If you've never seen it, go to my YouTube channel, American Visits Bern for the first time.
The worst thing I saw last year was when we had a practice camp in Paris, and the drinking water out of the pipe, when you can drink the water at home from Switzerland, that's great and tasty. And then we had an import JR, and he didn't smell the difference between Swiss water, and that was one of the worst things I've ever heard from him. That was terrible.
Wow.
Because you smell that a lot when you drink the water out of somewhere. It's terrible when you know the water here in Switzerland. Yeah.
You guys got some of the best water in the world, Dom. Well, can you tell us a little bit about kind of what has gone down these last few weeks with, the Guards changing now into the Mercenaries? This is going to be the team you're playing for. Can you talk to us a little bit about the situation, and then also how it feels now to have a little bit of clarity for the 2024 season?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in January, we were planning from the investment that we're going to play. Everybody was hyped up for playing for the Guards. And then suddenly in March, we didn't hear a lot, over weeks, we didn't hear anything. So yeah, I was like thinking about like, yeah, maybe there's something wrong and you just hear something, but like as a player, you don't know what's going on, like the investment before did things, but they don't were informated the team or something like this. They just, I don't know what they did, but no of us knew anything. And suddenly, like the message came, like, yeah, the guards are not playing this year, and we were like, okay. And then we hear, yeah, we have a new investment with already people who were in, and I'm just a player. I don't know a lot about the situation with the investment and all that stuff. I'm just happy that Switzerland still has a team. It's like not the important stuff like the name is or something like this. It's just important that Switzerland still have a team, because I think we have a lot good potential players that we can show on this stage in Europe. And yeah, I'm glad for the opportunity that we still have the team.
For sure. Dom, is it essentially going to be a lot of the guys that were going to play for the guards that are going to be playing for the Mercenaries now? A lot of your same teammates?
Yeah, 100%. Like a lot of the players are just coming for playing for the Mercenaries. Like they just become a new contract, not from the guards. They just switched it, and now we have the same with all the conditions from the last contract from the guards. So you will probably see all the guys which signed with the guards will sign with the Mercenaries. Yeah.
Perfect, man. That's good. That's good. I'm glad that we've got some clarity there for you guys down in Switzerland. And like you said, man, like just give Switzerland a chance to show what Swiss football is all about. Switzerland doesn't get the same recognition, I would say, as countries maybe like Germany or Austria when it comes to football. Can you speak a little bit on that? Honestly, you're a guy that's played in Germany and now playing in the and all these different countries. Can you speak a little bit about maybe having a little bit of that underdog mentality being a Swiss franchise?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in Switzerland, we don't have that much guys who are playing football like in Germany. And the problem is also that we don't have that lot of good coaches. Like we have a few small clubs, but not good coaches at it sometimes. And, that's a big problem, because guys which are not good, educated in football, which are learning new guys stuff. And for a lot of guys in Switzerland, it's just like they want to play like 2 times a week and then have a game on weekend. And yeah, they are not all want to compete, like in a higher league. I mean, the National League A in Switzerland is good with a lot of good players, good talent. But sometimes like, yeah, good coaching is missing, and that's a little bit problem. And then when I played in Germany with you in Schwäbisch, I mean, that was crazy, with all that coaches, all the teammates. That was just a great experience. And then you come to the ELF, and that's a step more, like the level is crazy to play against great players. And sometimes I think it's, like, I don't know how, yeah, maybe not scared, but a lot of guys maybe don't want to compete at that level, or just don't want to be a backup. They rather play like, in a team where they just can start and be the star, but not compete against the best ones. And that's maybe a little bit of problem in Switzerland, because we don't have that much players who can play at that level. And sometimes it's hard, because I think, when you have a professional team like the Mercenaries now in Switzerland, that gives the younger players a big motivation to be better, to train more. A goal which I didn't have when I was 20 years old, like for 9 years. You just played in National League A and maybe go to a GFL team.
Yeah.
But, now the guys have a goal. If you are good, you can play in the National League A in Switzerland. And maybe when you are really good, you can get it into the guards team. Mercenaries team. Yeah. And that's the thing why I think it's important that the key players in Switzerland play in this team, that we can give a chance for the younger guys that they can play on this level. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's hard when you just have the chance to play in an ELF team when you can be an import. Otherwise, it's hard, and that you get a offer as an import, that's really hard. So everybody should be happy that we have the opportunity to play in the ELF in Switzerland. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah, that's huge. Great points, Dom. Hey, have you gotten to really spend any time with Coach Val Gunn yet?
Not really. I didn't talk to him already, but I hear a lot of good stuff because the great thing is that he have already experience in Europe. Like he's not directly from a college or NFL, so he know how the things are going here. And that is great because otherwise, you know how it is when you come from the NFL or college and you don't have a clue from European football. That's hard.
Yeah. No, that's great to have a coach that has that European experience, just like you said. And yeah, Silas knows that with all the experience that we've had here in Europe. Dom, obviously the Mercenaries starting a new brand. And of course the goal is to win games just like for any team. For you, what is your personal goal for 2024? What has to happen for it to feel like it was a success for you?
Last year, I think I had a good season, but, I always want to be better. I want to be one of the best D linemen in the league. That's my goal. Like, I love to play and I love to win games. And for me, for sure, is to stay healthy and can play every game. That's the goal. Yeah.
That's a good goal, man.
I really just have one question left for you, Dom. You've gotten to play with Nick and you got to play with me. Who is the better football player out of the two people that you're sitting with here? You've played with. I mean, you've had front row experience.
He took a drink.
With both.
He took a drink to give himself some pause. The classic.
Who is the better football player?
I mean,
come on, Dom.
The thing is, with Nick, I won the championship, and with the guards,
we had a great time.
Silas, you're a crazy athlete, crazy running back. I can make this decision. I love you both.
He's too nice, bro. I knew it. He's too
Smart.
nice.
We are Swiss people.
Neutrality right there. That's
yeah, you got it. I love both of you.
That's perfect way to end, Dom. You're a perfect neutral Swiss, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show, bro.
Appreciate it, guys. That I can be
Good
here.
luck this
Thank
year.
you.
All the best, Dom.
Guys. Ciao.
That was he gave the perfect classic Swiss neutrality, bro.
Yeah.
Classic.
I had to put him on the spot anyway.
I know, it's great. I love that dude, man. Getting to play with him. Obviously, we both got to play with him. He came to us like late in the season, joined late, and I'm actually going to talk about him because, spoiler alert, I do have him as one of the sleepers on the list. But man, I just can't say enough good stuff about that guy. Awesome guy, awesome football player. So good.
Yeah, I agree. Such a good-hearted guy. But let's move into. We're going to move into a commercial break, and we'll come right back to those sleepers that you were talking about.
There we go. There we go. We are back.
I'm glad you got
narration. All right, guys. So we got another little bit here right now. And you guys participate in the chat with us, please. We are talking about our top sleeper players going into 2024. Players that we think are good, maybe a little bit underrated, maybe don't get that much credit or recognition. And Silas and I have both picked 5 players. You guys can also in the chat let us know players that you have, or if you agree or disagree with ours. Silas, do you want to start? Let's just go like back and forth. 1, 1, 1, 1. What do you think?
Wait, let's start with number 5. I know yours is in no particular order. Mine's not really either, kind of, but let's start with number 5.
Okay.
So do we have the graphic for that? There we go.
They're
already up. So this is no particular order, guys. No particular order. But yeah, since they're on there, I'm just going to go in it. Number 1 sleeper for me, Marvin Ruch. Played with Marvin back in the day. And he is a really I remember when I first watched him play. He's one of those guys that he has no American experience, but he actually runs routes and runs like he has American experience. And I know last year was a little bit more quiet because they had Markel on his team making like so many of the plays. But I think last year was probably more of a down year for him, and I think he's gonna make a big impact this year in year 2 with the Ravens, especially with going 2 years with Chad Jeffries.
Like that, man. I like that. Mine is also a receiver. We've got Philip Haun from the T-Roll Raiders. Wide receiver. This dude, he is a tough ball player, man. So he had 9 touchdowns in 2023, played in 12 games for the Raiders. He's kind of a staple on the Austrian national team. He caught 2 touchdown passes in the European Championship last year. And just seeing this guy play live, like he wasn't rated as an all-star. He didn't make all-star team. I think he's pretty damn good, man. And he's a fiery, tough player. There was a couple times where I was on the sideline filming, and he comes and like catches an out route, like a very impressive catch. He gets up and he's a little bit of a talker. And he points to me, the video guy, and he's like, kind of talking mess to me right there on the sideline.
Yeah, like F you now. F you now.
And, it hurt my feelings, me personally. But if I look objectively, I thought, man, I like when my ball players are fiery and aggressive like that. So despite my sadness, I gained some respect for him as a wide receiver. So Philip Hahn.
Good. That's a good pick. Good pick. Great player. Jacob Sullivan is on my sleepers because he had didn't have a great year last year. And I think just simply because he got hurt. But I think he's, like I said, we didn't put him on our top 5, and again, I think it's because of the injury. But I think he stays healthy. He's going to have a breakout year, and it's going to be the Jacob Sullivan everyone knows. So he's my number 2, in no particular order.
I like that, man. I like that, and I put them as an overrated team, and I hope that proves me wrong. So my number 2, also in no particular order, is Victor Omarodion, and I hope I say that right. From Hamburg, the DB safety, young guy. I think 2023 was his rookie year in the ELF. I was watching his highlight today, and he had a couple blocked kicks on there. And this signifies that you've got a high motor, that you play all out. You don't block kicks unless you're going all out. And he had a few where he like literally dives all out. Not everybody does that. So I like that. That's a green flag to me for a player. And he played kind of all over the field in the defensive backfield, like deep traditional safety, line up kind of at like a slot corner, taking guys on man to man. And what impresses me the most about him is kind of his just downhill closing ability, his tackling. He is a fearless player. And he tackles very aggressively, a sure tackler, young kid, and I think he's going to have a breakout here this year up in Hamburg.
Number 3 for me, going with Ken Hike Jr., my boy. That's what he used to always say. He said, "What's that, my boy?" He always said that. You see the Ken at practice, just walking around Lucerne, doesn't care if you're Swiss or American, he's going to say that. "What's up, my boy?" Somebody in the chat said ALFpedia said Tommy, Jacob, Ken are sleepers? ? Come on, Silas. Let me give you my definition of sleeper. Sleeper is somebody that people aren't talking about. That's my definition. Okay. So I'm not saying that they're not like proven players. I'm just saying that like nobody's really talking on it, aka like they're sleeping. Y'all are sleeping on these people. Ken was a lockdown corner for us last year, and I think one game literally single-handedly. Who did they beat? Milan. He's a defensive player, and single-handedly he beat Milan. He had like a punt return for a touchdown. He had a 100-yard fumble return for a touchdown. Played defense, absolute baller. That's my number 3.
Like it. Can't hike. My boy. All right. My number 3 is also my boy, Alessandro Vergani, the Italian native from Milan. Came up from Italy to Germany a couple of years ago. He's 34 years old. Okay. It's quite old for football standards. This is a guy who gets better every single year. I had the pleasure of playing with him both on the Italian national team and on the Schlebershow Unicorns for many years. Doesn't get so much credit or notoriety in the ELF, but he's the backbone of that surge offensive line. Was one of the first people that Jordan Newman confirmed to get on that roster when he was really building that roster for that special year last year. One of the hardest workers I've ever seen, is like I said, improving every year, and is an incredible leader as well, and like really sets the tone. So in addition to his actual football skills, his leadership and culture setting skills is unmatched. One of the best leaders I've ever been around. Doesn't get so much credit or pub, as the kids are saying. Alessandro Vergani for me.
That's why they call him. He said he ages and gets better as he ages. That's why they call him Alessandro Fine Wine Vergani.
That is his new nickname.
The Italian fine wine. Number 4. This is a pick that I picked straight up because of a game that I played against Munich last year in Munich. I had no idea who this guy was before, and I hope this is actually the right guy. So if maybe it's not,
we're gonna see.
But there's a guy, and his name is Enes Kaiser, or Kaiser, whatever. Tommy can tell us if that's right. Pretty sure this is him, but he was a linebacker, and he was a German linebacker, and I was just like, I was running the ball like, okay, of course I'm gonna like run past this guy, or like I'm gonna juke this guy. Like I constantly had that thought because I was like, I just looked at him and I underestimated him, but he kept making plays on me. I was like, why is this random German dude making plays on me? It was bugging me. And then like towards the end of the game, I was like, this guy's just really good. And I remember telling him after the game, I was like, bro, you're a good football player. And hopefully that's the right guy. If it's not, like whoever you are, like I just hyped you up for nothing. But that guy's a sleeper, and he's a good ball player.
Love the analysis. There we go. Ball. Hey, if you tackle Silas, you're a baller. So that is a true fact. As a guy who has been known to try in the past to do so. My next one, Lucas Holob, the young offensive lineman from Vienna. I had the pleasure of talking with Coach Kalaikai this past weekend at the football events. Couldn't say enough good stuff about him. He's young. I think he's like 21, maybe 22 years old. He was an NFL International Combine invitee, which is obviously a great sign. Vikings have him signed now to a 2-year contract, obviously, because that's a great sign when a team wants to sign you to a 2-year contract. It's huge. He's gotten to play with Alexander Milanovic for the past couple of years, who we know and had on the show in Europe, to be able to kind of learn and play next to him for these years. I think he's due for kind of a breakout year. He's also 6'8", and I just think that he doesn't get talked about that much, and he's going to have a big year this year. Lucas Holob.
Hey, why don't you give your last one, and then I'll finish.
Hey, you're right. That's a good idea. My last one is a guy that we just talked to, Dominik Liechti. We talked about it a little bit. Silas and I both had the opportunity to play with him. My chances with the Schwäbisch Unicorns. He came and joined us late in the year, and at that time, the Unicorns, we were the top team, or one of the top teams for sure in Europe. So Dominik came in, and for him to come in after coming from Swiss ball to the top level in Europe, become a player that got time on the field and really prove himself quickly in our championship game, the German Bowl. He had 5 tackles, 1 TFL. I was very, very impressed with his motor and just seeing him take that next step last year in the ELF, playing against the top competition in all of Europe. Another guy that, is a little bit under the radar. Sadly, sometimes because of the nature of Swiss football, doesn't get that much of a spotlight, but Dominik Liechti, another one of my sleepers. Now, Silas, who do we have next?
Bringing us home on the sleepers, my boy, Tommy Oyewo. I don't know how to say his last name. But the reason I'm bringing him in last is because he's actually here with us. Welcome to the show, Tommy.
Appreciate it. Thank you. You were close.
Let me say what I wanted. Let me say what I want to say about him. Why I think he's a sleeper, because now Tommy, again, definition of sleeper. Not a lot of people talking about him, but I think one of the best running backs in the league last year. Probably the best import running back that I saw. Great guy. When I first saw him, I was like, this guy kind of looks like he runs like he's like trying to chase down a train, like right after he got at the grocery store. Sometimes he like you got like some bread in your hand, because sometimes the way you were holding the football, I was like, why is this guy holding the football like this? Yeah. And then I found out you had only been playing football for like a few years, and I was like, how is this guy so good at football? just playing for a few years. And so anyway, I think he's a sleeper pick, and I think this year he's gonna have an even better year than last year. But anyway, Tommy, welcome to the show, brother.
Appreciate it. I'm glad to be here. Appreciate it, boys.
There we go, Tommy. So, man, obviously, just recently announced you're going back to Munich, joining the Ravens again for the second year. Can you talk a little bit about your offseason? You had obviously that great year last year. I'm sure a lot of teams wanted you. I'm sure you're very much in demand. Was it a difficult decision to decide to come back to the Ravens? And how did that process, your recruiting process, go?
To be honest, it wasn't difficult. I had a good year last year, and I knew the type of team we were putting together this year. So, yeah, the decision for me wasn't really hard. Like, I had actually signed in November, I'd say, but it wasn't announced because, if I'm being honest, I didn't think I was going to be in the ELF this year. So I was like, okay, I signed, but I was like, if I am coming back, I'm definitely coming back to Munich. But I actually thought I was going elsewhere, but that didn't happen. But it's all good. So coming back to Munich was a no-brainer, honestly.
Wait, where were you thinking about going?
Obviously the CFL, they had their global whatever, but I didn't get selected, so that's why I was thinking, okay, I'm not coming back to the ELF this year, but it's all good.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Next year, Tommy, you have another year like you did last year, man.
Yeah.
Obviously, you guys got Joe Thomas, who's helping bolster up your guys' O-line, and that's very important for you. So you, as a running back, how has that been so far to see such a kind of prolific coach come in and help your guys' offense?
It's been amazing. Yeah. Even, like, from what the O-line boys have said, they said, like, he's treating them like he's been in Europe as well. Like, he's starting with the basics. He's not treating them like, oh, you guys are pros, you should know. He's starting from ground one, teaching them different drills. And obviously getting Joe Thomas only attracted more O-line players as well, like Leander, Garrett, Roman coming out of CFL. So, yeah, it's only helped Munich, to be honest. So, I'm excited for it. And he's a cool guy.
That's huge, man.
He's been very helpful. Like, it's like he knows, like, where he's at. So, yeah.
That's huge. That's absolutely huge, man. O-line is the most undercoached position in Europe, in my opinion, and it is the most difficult to have good O-line. That's why Jordan Newman, the little I know about him, that guy goes after O-line like immediately. Yeah. As soon as he can, he tries to get the best O-line because that is the most sought-after position in Europe. Tommy, tell us a little bit about your background in football and how you got started on it.
So I always knew about football, but I was never interested in it like that. Like, my first love was basketball. So I was always more of a basketball guy. And my dad played soccer, football. So, yeah, those were the two sports. Then I was in the gym one day, and I was wearing a Redskins jersey. I just had one. I don't know who was on the back, to be honest. But my QB in Ireland came up to me and was like, oh, you should come down and try it out. And I was like, all right, cool. And I started out as safety. And I played most of my career as receiver. Like, I want to say last year was actually my real first year playing running back. Because even when I played Nick, that was like, it wasn't until the last 3 games that I started playing running back. Like, the first 2 times we played you, I was playing receiver. My first touchdown was that receiver.
That I remember being like, whoa. When did they get this running back?
Yeah.
I remember asking Cody that.
I was still trying to figure out how to play running back. So, I started out as receiver, but transitioning to running back, it's only helped me because it makes me that more versatile in terms of, like, catching the ball out the backfield, knowing how to run routes, and then, being a running back with my size, it just made more sense. So that's why I transitioned. Yeah, that's my history right there. Yeah.
Tommy, how would you describe your game?
It's different. I think it's definitely different. It, like, people do say, like, the whole Christian McCaffrey thing just because he catches out the backfield too and, like, runs the ball. So it's similar to his, but I definitely think I'm different. Just like, once I show the receiving side, I feel like last year I was used mainly as a running back, but with Kyle's playbook this year, which I love personally, yeah, you'll see a lot more receiving and rushing. So it's gonna be nice.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's exciting. That's exciting to see.
I'm actually a bit like
'cause
Silas. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm a bit like Silas. Yeah, there we go.
come on.
There we go. Kind of like that. Yeah.
I've had the
Hey, wait, hold on. I have a
Go.
question. Yeah. Oh wait, no. Go ahead. You were gonna say something.
I was
going to
say I have had the whatever the opposite of pleasure is pain of playing against you both. So it's another situation here where I just feel kind of attacked. You know, I'm very uncomfortable.
Okay, where did you guys play against each other?
Playing for Algoy.
I played for Algoy. Yeah, sorry.
In the GFL.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh,
a couple times.
Okay.
Back in my youth, back in my day.
Okay.
You know?
So you're an Irish citizen?
Yeah, I was born there. Yeah.
Which city in Ireland are you from?
I live in Offaly, but I was born in Dublin, Rotunda. But I live in Offaly, Edenderry, small town. So yeah.
Where is that exactly?
It's like if you look at the Irish map, we're actually right in the middle.
Okay.
Like, right in the middle. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Great.
So are you one of those like really cool cases where you have Irish citizenship or whatever and EU citizenship?
No, it's not Irish. And like once you have Irish citizenship, you have EU citizenship.
Because Irish is EU.
Isn't there? But like, isn't there like a part of it that? Oh no! Sorry. UK.
You're thinking, Silas. I know what you're thinking of somebody who has a UK passport as well as an Irish passport. Then you win. Then you win. You got it all.
Yeah. Wait. Do you have that as well?
No,
Because I know Jadrian does.
No, I don't. I haven't been in the UK, so no.
Okay.
Like
so
I've been in the UK, but
EU.
I wasn't born there, so I don't have citizenship for the UK.
Hey.
Gotcha.
We've got an interesting question in the chat, and actually, I'm super curious about it. What's the American football culture like in Ireland compared to like your experience here on mainland Europe and in Germany?
The culture is good. Like there is a culture. It's building. Like the boys are very invested in American football. The ones who play are very invested.
Yeah.
But the level has a lot of growing to do because the level had me thinking I was going to the NFL straight away. Like I was so sure, like because I was playing in Ireland, I was so sure that like, yeah, I'm untouchable. It's over. And then I got to the GFL and I was like, oh wow, I actually got to start working out. I gotta like do a lot more than just come and play on game day. So no, the culture is definitely growing. The boys are putting in work, but yeah, the game itself has a lot of growing to do. Yeah.
Well, that just makes it all that more impressive that you're sitting at where you are, coming out of a kind of a less developed football situation in Ireland. That's always like way more impressive. So kudos to you, man.
I think what really helped me, actually, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I just think what really helped me was I used to go to like a lot of combines.
Okay.
Like the podium used to hold like different combines, and those things, like although I didn't get selected or anything, it only helped build me because then I realized, okay, I actually need to work on this. And then I saw like different coaches, like even some of the coaches in the UFL, I met them at like a Jaguar camp that was in the UK before. So stuff like that just helped me. And I guess I was just very invested. So yeah,
man, that's awesome, man.
You're
killing it.
Tommy,
I mean, you just
I appreciate it, boys.
Yeah, Tommy, man,
you're on my side.
Sorry, go ahead, Nick. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
It don't matter.
You got a question?
Well, I was just gonna tell him that he's one of my favorite players to watch, especially because you play my position, and you hadn't. I knew you. It's like what, only been a few years since you played running back.
Yeah.
So to see you to grow as fast as you have has been really cool to see, and
appreciate that.
And I'm just a huge fan of Munich. They're I would say that like outside of my own team last year, they were the team that I like kind of fanboyed over the most because I loved a lot of the players on that team. So
I appreciate it. We really had a good team last year. We have a great team this year. Don't get twisted, but yeah, for our first year last year.
Tommy, that's a perfect transition because that's what I'll ask you about. Munich Ravens 2024. Obviously, I think you guys went 7-5 last year, which was super impressive for a first year organization. Getting a lot of talk about the team this year. What can we expect? Are you guys a legit championship contender?
100%. 100%. Our D line, our O line, yeah. It's ridiculous this year. It's ridiculous, and because we've kept our key players as well, I feel like now that we've added these other players as well, it's perfect. Everything is gel perfectly. And then Saturday, the imports finally get to start practicing and everything. So yeah, that's when we all make it gel together. Yeah, honestly, you will definitely see us in that championship. By the grace of God, yeah.
Wow.
Definitely.
Wow.
Definitely.
Let's go, man.
You heard it here.
Let's go. Wait, Tom.
Go ahead, Silas. Go ahead. We got a little delay. Can you hear me?
No, you go ahead because I was going to close out the interview. So
I got one last question, then you can close it out. One last question. Is there a specific game that you've got circled, a specific team that you're really looking forward to playing this year?
You already know pretty much. You know this. Yeah, but just because of the stadium, though, not because of the team or anything, but we're playing in two pretty big stadiums. Like, yeah, I would love for those games to be a good game for myself and the team. So,
and just for the audience, he's talking about the Stuttgart Surge versus Munich Ravens game. They're both in big stadiums.
That's the one. That's the one.
Awesome, man. Silas, do your thing.
Hey, man. Well, Tommy, we appreciate you coming on the show for real.
Thank you.
I'm excited to check in throughout the season because I do think you guys are going to be a force in the Central Conference, and I want to check in to just make sure that y'all's ego doesn't get too high.
No. We stay humble. We stay humble.
Because yeah, you guys, as long as you stay humble, you guys are gonna do great. But I think you guys are gonna do special things out in Munich. So we appreciate you coming on the show, and we'll talk soon.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Later, Tommy. Thanks, brother.
Yeah.
Awesome guy, man.
Nick.
Can you hear me? Yep.
Munich championship game 2024. I'm calling it.
That's not that is not a dumb prediction. I'll tell you that much. That's not you don't sound crazy.
2024. September 23rd.
There are eight teams that are just great. And you just I don't who is gonna be. Obviously, I think like the Rhine Fire are a little bit still the favorite, but that gap
Helvetic Mercanaries
has closed significantly this year. Huh?
Prague Lions, Helvetic Mercenaries.
We gonna see him?
Fervor and Throners Championship 2024.
We gonna see him?
Speaking of big stadiums you're talking about, I just got a message from I got a message before this from John, the owner of Paris Musketeers, and he was telling me he confirmed that every home game is going to be in Stade Jean-Bouin, which is a big stadium.
Big stadium. Oh, that's awesome.
We didn't talk about stadiums, and I just had to say something about stadiums. So
your stadium bit. You can't not do your stadium segment.
I'm going to talk about stadiums for the rest of the year. Good. Everywhere I go, stadium. Bro.
There we go.
That's all right, it, guys. For the show, dude. That's it.
That's it. So we got. We did it. We did it. Good job, Marco. Everybody, give a round of applause for Marco, our producer this week.
Everybody, shout out Marco. He did a great job.
Like you guys know, there's all those like graphics and putting us in different things, like how we are right now. It doesn't automatically happen. It's like it's a whole production. So way to go, Marco.
Yeah.
Guys, chat, thank you so much for joining us. Silas, always a pleasure, brother.
Always, bro. We'll talk soon. Meeting next week, next Thursday. Same time.
See you this time, next Thursday. Bye, everybody.
Peace.